Warning, this is an adult-oriented podcast about really perverse things, like communication and consent. If you are under 18 and looking for answers to questions about sex or kink, please visit scarletteen.com. For the Dude Bro listeners, this is the nerdy shit. Fuck off!
Oh, okay. All right.
Wood Rocket, literally any of their like parody porn is really good, but puppet porn might be my favorite one. Because the other thing is that the idea behind her scene in particular was that it was supposed to be a version of Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Okay.
So like that's they're doing that, but also it's puppet porn.
Interesting.
Yeah. Also, the casting couch is also a puppet.
The couch is a puppet?
Yeah, that's his job, is to sit there and let people fuck on him. So like he's giving the male porn star who's a human like some advice as he's like sitting on him, and he's just like, "Don't worry, man, you could do this." And he was just like, I was started this just, because I didn't think anything was wrong with it, but now like they've painted me in a corner and I'm blackballed from the rest of the industry, so now all I can do is fuck puppets. And he's like, it's fine. And they like shoot to like a thing of him in his car just screaming and crying in his steering wheel because he's so depressed.
Man whore, everybody wants to be a man whore. Man whore, a man whore on Lala's land.
We're going to jump into Lala's land now, and I have a guest tonight, and that is Shark Boy, a.k.a. Gigantor. I know I got that backwards, but you're always Shark Boy first to me, then Gigantor.
Wow, deja vu.
I know, I feel like Ferris Bueller's Day. No.
Groundhog's Day.
Groundhog's Day, thank you.
How is it I'm younger than you? I wasn't even alive when those movies were made. I know.
That little groundhog's so cute. Dancing in the gopher hole.
Phil.
Phil.
The groundhog's name was Phil.
Oh, okay.
Punxsutawney Phil.
Yep.
I didn't know that. Hey, Shark Boy.
Yes.
We've already talked sex.
Yeah.
I think a couple times, maybe. Perhaps.
Yeah, more than just once.
But we haven't talked vanilla.
Ice cream? Or...
Just vanilla talk.
Oh, okay.
So how about it? I'm going to throw some questions at you.
All right, I'll try and catch them.
All right. What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Shit. I can't really decide, but if it has to be one, I'm going to go with the Studio Ghibli one, Princess Mononoke.
Never heard of it.
It's really good.
All right, then.
Studio Ghibli is basically Japanese Disney.
Oh, I don't like that stuff. I don't know if I do. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I've never seen it. I don't know. What's your favorite food?
Chinese food.
What's your favorite drink?
Dr. Pepper, I'm drinking it right now.
Blech. No, I'm not yucking your yum. I just don't like it.
Did both.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, you audibly yucked.
What's your favorite animal?
Shark.
Oh, duh. Shark Boy. Ha. Who's your favorite person? Oh, he's pointing to Anemic Princess. No! You can't yuck his yum. What's your dream car?
Dream car is a 65 Shelby Cobra.
Nice. And if you could go anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Oh, I can't decide between China or Japan.
Japan.
China. Just to spite you now.
Just to spite me. Anybody else have some quick, fast questions? Broccoli or cauliflower?
Neither.
Steak or chicken?
Ooh, steak.
Potato or rice?
Rice.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Question, though. The steak versus chicken thing, if you could only have one for the rest of your life, which would you choose?
Probably chicken.
I think so, too. I feel like you can do a lot more different things.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Because, like, the steak is just, like, one part of the cow. When you said chicken, you really didn't specify what part of
That's
the chicken.
true.
No, but you can do so many things
Yeah.
with chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can eat it cold. You can eat it hot. You can eat it boneless. You can eat it with bones.
You can deep fry it.
You can deep fry it. You can barbecue it. You can grill it. You can bake it. You can put it in a casserole.
Yep.
And put it in a salad. And make a soup. There's so many things.
That's true.
Yep.
All very,
You
very
just
true.
can't go wrong with chicken.
One thing I want to try, and I think it's because Anemic and I saw this video the other day.
Chicken gizzards.
I want to try some... I don't remember what the fish was, but I know it was dry aged.
Oh, dry aged salmon. It was
Yeah.
5 day dry aged salmon. It did look really good.
Yeah.
Well, those are my questions. Does anybody have any? You had some questions,
Yeah.
Anemic.
Am I a better kisser than your ex?
Yes.
Wait, no, we can't.
Yes, we can.
we?
Yes, this is Lala's land. You stay out of this unless
Okay.
you have some.
Am I more important than your mom?
Yes.
Aww.
Would you ditch all of your friends to be with me?
I ditched them before in the past for different reasons.
For those keeping score, that's the third red flag.
Which of my friends do you think is the hottest?
There's the fourth.
I would say the one that you say is like the female version of me.
She
That's
likes sharks
just
too?
Weird.
She likes
do-
sharks?
She does like sharks, actually.
Why are you glaring at him? You can't be mad at these questions that you're asking him.
Yes, I can.
Plus,
You can't.
plus this person that I'm referencing, their husband also has my same name.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
It's a whole joke.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. If you could change one thing about my body, what would it be?
nothing.
Aww.
That's a cop-out. Give me a real fucking answer.
Ooh.
Your attitude.
My body!
I'm sorry. The attitude comes from the brain, which is part of your body.
So you would change my brain?
Oh, well, you told me to change a part of your body, so if I had to
So
change
no,
one
no, no.
thing,
So you're gonna change my brain?
sure, to stop all these red flags from coming up, and you can put a red flag on my side if you want to on that.
Maybe we should stop this.
God, I love
You're
you
the
so
one
much.
that started it.
No, I thought she was going to ask, not about herself. I thought she was going to ask awkward questions like, have you seen your sister naked? Did you like it? Have you seen your grandma naked? Did you want to give her a bath?
The
that
answer
kind of
to
stuff.
all those is no.
See, this thing, I already know the answers to those. I want to know these things. How expensive of an engagement ring do you think you could buy me?
Well, considering I am a typical American living paycheck to paycheck, not that expensive. You'll be lucky if I go broke for 2 months for it.
Actually, that is the general rule of thumb is it should be a ring that costs about 2 months worth of
I
salary.
think it's more than that.
Yeah.
I think it's 6 months.
But fuck
6
societal
months?
norms.
I think it's 6 months because...
Fuck you, no
yeah,
way.
no, listen. Because if he dies, she can pawn that ring and live for 6 months. That's what it was
Wow.
back in the day. I believe that was why. It was so that she can sell the ring and still support herself.
Right, back in
While
the day
she
when
finds
you could buy
another
a house and
person.
a car and 7 acres for
I'm
$4.
just saying that was the reasoning behind it.
So, to the point I was going to say earlier, fuck societal norms.
This is true. And I have sent you variations of rings I would like that are not nearly that much money.
Do I get to do your wedding?
That may have been a part of a plan.
Okay, good. Gotham Press Podcast right now.
From Bakersfield to Mount Olympus, Gotham Press talks naughty business. Sexual topics to explore your whoredom. Good if you're new or a kinky Yoda. Gotham Press Podcast. The dirty kinksters your parents warned you about.
Hello, Gothamites, and welcome back to the Gotham Press Podcast.
We love you, Thief. I missed you. I've been gone forever.
You have.
All right, let Anemic finish her hoo-ha.
For hoo-ha?
My hoo-ha.
Why are you asking him to let her finish when you're the one who interrupted?
I don't know.
Shut up, guest. We didn't introduce you yet. Anyway, this is one of your hosts, Anemic Princess. Today, I am joined by Lala.
Hi.
And Thief of Dreams.
Hello.
We also have our very special guest. His name is Shark Boy. Anyway, moving on. We'd like to say thank you to...
Aww.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, after I
love
spoiled you
BB.
today.
I love you, BB.
And he made really good chicken.
Yeah, I
And
love
he-
you, BB. Say I love you too.
Like another red flag right there. Say it back. Say it back.
Oh my gosh.
Uno reverse.
Anyway, there we go. So we would just like to say thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. For just $1 a month, you can help the podcast thrive. For $5 a month, you get early access to all the episodes. If you want to know where you can find us, just find us looking in the show notes. We'd like to go ahead and give a big thanks to our sponsors of the episode, including, let's start, Piercings by Bee LLC, now at a new location, Good Fortune Tattoo, here in Bakersfield. If you are in need for a piercing or some jewelry or some general kind of piercing care, she's the person to go to. I would know. I have 5.
I thought it was 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 5 holes that were put in my body by Bee. Big fan.
I like how there was like a head, shoulders, knees, and toes
Right.
type bit with that.
I have like 10 piercings. I have to count them to make sure they're all still there. Okay.
Do you have to do like a jewelry check like every morning?
Not every morning, but every once in a while I'll be walking and I hear kind of like a ting sound. I'm like, oh God. And then I'm just going and I'm tightening everything, reaching in my shirt, tightening my nipple balls. And
Nipple balls.
that's what my nipple balls. I go around and I start like tightening everything. Like, what is it? What is it? I heard something roll away.
So should I say you have a quad?
What's that?
That's a nerd joke. You're not gonna get that.
I didn't get it either, Lala. It's okay.
Yeah.
We're being left out. We are not in the circle of trust. I thought we were. We were just talking all
we're
the personal
outside.
information.
Although that
What the
circle is
heck?
full of red flags currently, so it might be an okay thing.
Don't worry. It was
yeah.
a bad joke anyway. Moving on, we also have
Yes, let's move on.
we have JW paddles. So for any of you paddling needs, they can be found on their website, which is jwpaddles.com, correct?
Yep.
Correct.
Awesome. They can also be found in the stock room in LA.
Mm-hmm.
They sell through there. It's really nice to go see them.
You can
Or
look
Etsy.
up Thief's Touch on Etsy. That's pretty much it.
Pretty much it. Okay, awesome.
Are you
I'm not doing anything. Nothing to see here.
threatening cropping or are you cropping?
I was threatening.
Oh, snap.
And last but certainly not least, we have Steel Brat Pacis. So if you are looking for an adult pacifier that can be completely customized to what you would like, go ahead and hit up Brat of Steel over at Steel Brat Pacis. Lala's threatening to crop people right now, so she's
I
kind
want
of
it.
swinging it around.
I know your face is like, ooh.
Yeah, I brought that to the table just for you. I took it out of its hidey hole where it's been hidden for months now.
Did you want me to use it on you?
Yeah.
I think I need a passy.
What would you like in your past?
I either want a gothic one with
Ooh.
bats and
He
spiders,
does good ones of those.
or a dinosaur one.
Ooh.
What about a llama themed one?
No.
No. Don't you like llamas?
I
though?
do. I love llamas. I have a llama wall in my house
A llama wall?
where like all my llama pictures and stuff
Oh.
and my little
So-
llama figurines.
Is llama a vanilla place for you? Like, do you not want to encroach? Do you not
I
want to like dirty your llama thing?
I think I just got frustrated because I loved llamas, and then all of a sudden, everything is llamas. Like if you go to the store, everything is
Right.
llamas. So
that makes sense.
I
And
don't know.
everybody brings
it kind
them
of
to
made
you?
it. Well, I don't mind that.
No?
No, I don't mind. I don't mind collecting them and loving them, but I just,
It feels less special.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
totally understand that.
But yeah, so I think I need to hit up Brat for a dinosaur or a gothic.
You should
Passy.
do that.
Yes.
If you would like to purchase from him, he is on Instagram and he's also on FetLife.
Great.
I messaged on Instagram to get mine.
I don't do Instagram. I don't know how.
Oh, would you like us to contact you and put you in contact with the Steel Brat Pacis?
I have him on Facebook as a friend, as not still Brat Pacis, but I could message him. I have his text phone. I could text him.
Yeah, you could straight up text
I have a text phone.
You could,
I could text him.
you could call him after 9 p.m. too, and it's free.
It's free all the time.
Oh, that's right.
What are you doing? Where's your brain?
Do you know that we used to pay 10 cents per text?
I don't remember that.
You don't?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I don't remember stuff, you guys. Don't look at me like that. I don't have a good brain.
Okay.
I don't have.
Bad
I am.
brains.
OMG.
I swear, once we're done recording, I'm just going to sit you down over there, and then we're going to go over the past 30 years of recent history.
Lamau.
Do you-
Literally everything.
Can you tell me about all the kids stuff my kids did too? Because I can't remember a lot of it.
I can probably do some generic stuff, and I'll probably jog a memory here and there.
All right. Cool.
And at age 14, you walked in on them.
Nope.
PogChamp.
No, I didn't.
No, what?
What?
No.
What did you say? Pog? Did he say pog?
Now we have to explain it. and I
Did
don't
you say
want
pog?
to. Yes.
Pog, wasn't that a game? Those little pog circle things?
Yes, but also no.
Wait, but pogs were back when I was a kid, weren't they?
Oh, no. I feel like we've
Yeah?
explained this to you already.
You
before.
haven't.
I'm pretty sure we explained to you what POG was.
Listeners, should I make them tell me? Let me listen to my listening ear. To my listeners'
If
listening
Anemic
ear.
and I have it our way, they're not going to hear this bit.
But you'll forget to tell me after the show.
No, because I said I'm going to sit you down over there, and we're going to go over the past 30
I have stuff
years.
to do.
Don't worry, it's a quick lesson. We'll cram 30 years into like 1 minute.
I feel like that's impossible to do.
I can do it.
Okay.
Not without a lot of explaining.
Oh yeah, it's you. 2 minutes. we'll double the time.
Aw. Listeners, they're being mean to me. Okay, not they. Shark Boy is. But that's what we do.
We be mean to Lala.
Shark Boy is being to me. That's what. Oh, wait, that's what he does.
Yeah, I gotta make it for lost time.
I know, it's been a while.
It has been a minute.
Are we talking about good stuff tonight?
Yeah.
I think so. I mean,
Pogs?
Hog champs.
What is?
Poggers.
I'm dying to know what that is.
Should I just like rip it off
no,
like a
no,
Band-Aid?
just later. Let's. Hey, so tonight, listeners, we were talking about negotiations, and Thief has a whole packet of paper.
Are we
in front
gonna
of him.
role play a negotiation?
Yes, I would like to.
That'd be great.
Would you like to negotiate a scene with me, Lala?
Sure.
Ooh, okay.
This could involve the crop.
Ooh.
It could involve.
This could turn into an actual negotiation.
He did have a very excited face when I was flinging it.
Now, I don't want to hold anybody to like that, like an actual negotiation, because
I know.
Whatever. Because I want to go down different avenues and different answers for different questions. So,
I love that.
Yeah.
So I'm
So
gonna
this is
take
like a
the lead
choose
on
your-
this.
We're gonna do like, you lead it up.
Okay.
I'm just wondering, are we gonna do like the proper way to do a negotiation and then the or not a proper way
I
to do a
don't
negotiation?
really want to do. I don't want to demonstrate an improper way because that could be the only part somebody hears.
Oh, okay.
So I don't really want. I thought about doing that. Like,
Yeah.
my first question was gonna be like, "Can I stick a 6-inch dagger in the base of your spine and then twist it before I pull it out?"
Yes, and me.
Okay, so if somebody says that, you know that you do not want to play with them. You walk away. You tell somebody else. You make sure the DM on duty knows that this person is looking for a play partner. And then but if the answer
Red
is
flag.
no,
Red
then
flag.
that is a good thing because you want to make the person you're negotiating with comfortable and telling you no.
Plus, you want to make sure they're listening to you. So if you throw in
True.
some random act of violence that they're not expecting,
Well, and that
Right.
comes down to consent.
yeah,
Like, consent is everything, and consent is above all else informed.
Yeah.
So it's also from a sound mind, and it cannot be given by someone who doesn't know all the facts or intentions. So you can't like skirt the line of consent by being vague because that's predatory and it's abuse and not okay.
okay.
So I can't be like, well, I really want to get Lala on a cross. That way I can do dirty, horrible things to her. I don't think she wants to do dirty, horrible things with me, though. So I'll be like, hey, how about I restrain you to a cross and we'll just do some light spanking and then go about groping you. Not okay. Especially if we have
Oh, like so I say yes to the light spanking, but
Right.
not to the groping.
Exactly,
But once
because
you have
I
me
don't mention the groping. I'm just like,
Right.
just leave that vague. Well, she said I could touch her and like spank her, so I should be, fuck you. No, that is
Got it.
not how it's done.
Got it.
So yeah, definitely you want to know somebody's full intentions, especially like what are your goals or desires for the scene? Is it something that's going to be sexual? Is it not sexual? Because there's a lot of play that, especially when it comes to like impact play, that there's no sex involved. There's nothing sexual to some people involved. It can be, you can make it sexy, but that's part of the negotiation is, do you want it to be? Because like if I wanted to have some kind of sexy flogging scene with you and make it known, And then if you say, that's going to be hard no, like that's not what I want. Okay, then I need to be mature enough to say, okay, I accept that, and change my mindset from like the teasing aspect of, okay, well, what can I do to like tease her and turn her on, to more of a, well, what are you looking for? And if it's just like you just want to have the shit beat out of you, then okay, then I step away from like the seducer role and more into the protector, because now it is my goal. No, it's my responsibility to protect you, even though I'm doing the hurting. So like, but it's still my responsibility to make sure that you don't get hurt, basically.
Right.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Because you were talking earlier about, making sure the person is comfortable with saying no to you. I was just thinking that, and this doesn't really apply if the person you're negotiating with, you're in like a dynamic with, but I would say that definitely make sure that you empower the other person, whether they are a top or a bottom or whatever, because if there's some sort of perceived authority, sometimes it's harder to say no, right? True. So like, I know that like when I entered the community as a bottom, there were definitely tops that I wanted to like scene with, but I can imagine probably when I first entered, if they were throwing a lot of things at me, that unless they explicitly kind of like were like, and you can say no, or if they really were, and what do you think about that, like ask for a follow-up instead of just like, hey, I think I'm gonna spank you, I may not have said no, because I may have been like, well, they're, a big scary domly dom, and
they know what's right.
Yeah, and they know what's right.
They know what I need.
Yeah, so I think that like definitely probably a reminder, and I think that it's good for both the top and the bottom in that scene, if that's how you're doing it, to keep on conveying to the other person like and you can say no, or, and what do you think about this? It empowers the other person to be able to say no.
You inadvertently skipped ahead.
I did? I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. But I had that on here, is we want the negotiation to be as complete as possible. We want to make the other person comfortable with saying no. A lot of the times we may come into the lifestyle without a history of communication and openness with our relationships. And with that can sometimes come a hesitancy to say no when asking for something from someone else. So like if you want to be spanked, you're like, I'm going to ask this person to spank me. And then, but you don't feel comfortable telling them no if they're telling you, okay, well, I want to also run my hand up between your thighs and rub you a little bit. And you're like, okay, I just want to be spanked, but okay, I guess. Like, and that's kind of that hesitancy.
I mean, because I would also say that even if they're saying all the things to you that you like and that you want to do, just being empowered to be able to say no is probably more likely to, when you're playing, if you're at your limit, maybe it'll empower you to also be able to say your safe word. True. Because then if this person was safe enough for them to be willing to take a no from me, then, because I don't know, I feel like, and I've talked about this with other people who have bottomed before, they feel an immense amount of pride surrounding that sometimes, to be able to take whatever the top throws at them. So it's really hard for them to like advocate for themselves because they want to make the other person so happy. Right. Yeah. So I think that even if everything seems good, it's a run-of-the-mill scene and stuff you've done before, letting them know that they can say no will also ultimately empower them to use their safe word when they need it.
Yep. Well, plus if you're new, also you're so excited and you do want to try everything, but you don't think to say no. Yeah. Or you don't think to have a negotiation.
Or to even know your own limits.
Yeah.
Like 100%. Ahead of time.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things why negotiations are done by two people of equal stature and importance, regardless if they are top or bottom, dom, slave, etc. No one person's wants or desires are more important than the others, and that's what you were saying. Like there's no hierarchy.
Yeah.
Like there's no
during that point. Yeah.
Like when you're negotiating, you are both on even keeled outside of a set dynamic. But I mean I think of negotiations as happening before a dynamic kind of thing. Like this would be like pick up play, or maybe your first time getting into it with somebody and just trying to put the feelers out there and see what it's about. Content, just like consent, also has to come from a healthy emotional state. So, like if somebody's intoxicated, if they're sleepy, depressed, angry, distracted by their cell phone case, these are all things that should be a warning to you if you're trying to negotiate with somebody and you just see that they're not completely there.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe they just got done scening with somebody. That's another huge wrong time to negotiate a scene because you have all those endorphins and that is just drugs in your body.
Yeah, I know that I negotiated a scene with somebody, and then the day we were supposed to have the scene, I watched them get into several hours long fight with their partner, and they were obviously angry. And even though I trust this person, you know, I was still just like, I'm not gonna do this because in May, whether or not they mean to, they may end up hitting me out of anger.
Yeah.
You know, or they may take out stuff on me that I didn't necessarily agree to.
Or just have their head somewhere else.
Their head could be completely somewhere else, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to risk that, and I don't think anything bad of the person, and was willing to go ahead and see with them again. But I was like, I don't want to. For me, I'm an advocate for me and say I'm not going to do that as a just in case, right?
Good for you.
So.
Now I have a question for you.
For me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or for Lala. Or for Gigantor.
That's Shark Boy.
This is something that I was kind of on the fence about until I did a little research and found out that there is a right and wrong answer to it.
Okay.
And it's not maybe. So what about someone who is in a headspace? Like, can you consent to something that was not on your soft no list earlier? But in the moment you're like, I want to do that. So I consent now.
No.
Exactly. No. And see, I was thinking, I didn't know it was a no. I thought it was like, well, maybe if they're like in a relationship and they know, then. But yeah, it's just a hard no. Is the top or the person, you know, in control of the situation, it is your responsibility to adhere to that. You know, even if they're begging for it. Like if Lala's on the cross and I'm flogging her and she's told me no intercourse whatsoever, turns around, looks at me and says, I want you to fuck me right now. It's my job not to just be like, no, we are not doing that, but to grab her by the back of the head, pull her hair back, and whisper to her, good girl, and then spank her ass and not fuck her.
You're so mean to me.
But I mean, that's...
But responsible.
Man, that's hot.
Like, instead of just being like, okay, scene ender, done, like just walk away kind of thing, like you could
move past it.
Yeah, you can play with it. You can just don't do what has been denied.
Yep. I think it should just, like with different headspaces, it should be viewed as though the person's like inebriated in any way.
Oh, it
Absolutely.
is.
Yeah.
It totally is.
And that's one of the first things you'll notice in the dungeon is like people that are scening, like they're scening, they're gone.
Oh yeah,
like, they're not here anymore.
I would say it's partially my fault. It's also the other person's fault because they didn't know. But I fully have been in subspace and consented to something that later on I 100% was like, oh my god, I did not want to do that. Like if I knew that I wasn't like in subspace, or if I knew if I wasn't in subspace, I would have been like, no, thank you. Right. So like,
yeah,
it is 100% like an altered state. And like, you know, I know personally once that happens, I start thinking with my vagina.
Yeah.
And later on, I was like, that was not what I wanted at all. And I had to have an uncomfortable conversation with that person. Like, I know it's because you probably didn't know. Because they're not, like, super lifestyle aware. Right. You know, we were just messing around. And I'm like, you should just know this happened. And I'm not mad at you. But for future reference, don't do that.
Yeah. Well, and that's good that you can be mature and I don't want to say confront because that has a negative connotation, but communicate your
bring
feelings
that to them.
Yeah, I think that's very.
It was a trusted enough person that I could do that.
Yeah, good.
And that brings up a very good point too, because sometimes things happen that aren't necessarily a breach of consent, but they are.
Yeah.
Like and how you handle that is completely and 100% up to you. It's I mean, you can say that it depends on the person and the circumstance, but nobody can tell you that you are in the wrong, that you are, you consented to something and then you're allowed to revoke consent at any time for any reason. And if somebody breaks consent, like just like, what's that word? Purposely, like if they're doing, then others need to know. But I mean, ultimately, it is your choice and how you pursue that. If that's gonna be a bring in the police situation, which is, you know, I mean, depending on the situation, is can be warranted. There's an organization called the NCSF. It's the ncsfreedom.org. And they have a bunch of information and will help you to like how to go about reporting in a situation like that where consent is breached in, you know, a bad way. They'll show you how to circumvent and kind of deal with the police departments. I guess a lot of police departments will have like LGBT and kink friendly officers that while they might not be able to handle your case specifically, they can kind of put you in touch with detectives and officers that are more open, I guess, to the community. And
that's good to know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
That's great.
But yeah, don't let anybody tell you that, oh, you're just blowing it out of proportion, and, you know, because consent is everything. I mean, that's what separates us from abusers.
Right.
So, and also, just because you agreed to negotiate a scene with me doesn't mean you have to scene with me.
Right.
Like, you're free to walk away at any time and be like, I don't think this is going to work. Not this time. Sorry. And that's fine. And you should be okay. Everybody should be okay with that, and knowing that it's not like a snooty thing. It's not like a snub thing. It's not them saying, fuck you. It's just saying, yeah, this is not going to work for me right now. Sorry.
Right.
You know? So put on your big person britches and handle it.
Big person britches.
Yeah. I was going to say big boy pants, but then I realized, yeah, maybe not. So
Big
much.
person works.
Yep, big person. So then we get to the actual negotiation questions.
Okay. Are you going to negotiate as you're the top, or is that how we're
Oh,
doing
that's a
that?
valid question.
You're top. You want to negotiate with you topping me?
Would you like to top me?
I mean, maybe one day.
Okay.
Why not now? This is the negotiation.
I don't know. I don't know. I want to see where his.
Don't give in to the peer pressure from the side, by the way.
Oh, I don't feel peer pressure. I don't feel peer pressure.
It's completely up to you, actually. I didn't think about that, so.
Would you want to top me, or would you rather bottom? That's.
Or what kind of scene are we talking about?
Well, I don't.
Negotiation has started.
I don't know.
Like a flogging scene? Because I kind of really want to be flogged.
You want to be? I'm not a good
Yeah.
flogger. I've been taking. Well, I took a couple lessons. I need to take more. I'm not. I would not feel comfortable flogging you
Okay.
and having you enjoy it, because I don't know that I would do a good job. I could paddle you pretty dang well, or use a yardstick. Not great with a crop because it's so springy.
Seems like you should be pretty good with a crop by now.
I'm okay.
Okay.
But there's just I don't know.
Not a comfort level that you've reached?
Maybe I might do it a few times, but not
Understandable.
like concentrated with a crop.
Would you like to be flogged?
I love to be flogged.
What prior scene experience do you have with flogging?
A lot.
Yeah.
20 years worth
20 years of being the bottom?
of being the bottom. Yeah, not the top.
So it's kind of a very vague answer that doesn't really tell me what kind of, like, is it a sexual thing for you or a non-sexual thing?
A scene?
Yeah.
It's been both.
What would you want it to be between us?
I want you to get into my head.
Yeah?
Yes. I think I want to be
So kind of like a teasing?
teased. I think light touching would be fun.
Okay.
But anything overly sexual, I think, could cause...
Problems.
It could.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it would, but it could course, if you just teased me and made me crazy, we might just like want to bang like bunnies and then have this sexual tension all the time. And that could be fun too.
I don't really have that.
Well, I understand that. That too. I mean, that too. I know you well enough to know that that's not your thing.
Yeah. But the idea of like teasing you and turning you on is high on the list.
And knowing that I'm going to go home and masturbate
right
like crazy. Yeah. That I could see you getting off on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did that answer your question?
It does. It kind of sets the scene. So in regards to that, what are your hard limits?
No electrical.
Okay.
No blood.
Okay.
Like no cutting, no needles. I do like knives, but I don't want to be cut with it.
Okay.
So dragging and whatever is fine. I do have bad shoulders, so any restraining has to be down at my waist because I can't have my arms above my head for very long.
Okay.
Reds, like the obvious ones. No children, no animals. I mean, I know that's not going to come into play, but I'm just saying those are big reds for me.
Okay.
What else do I not care for?
What about being demoralized?
Degraded?
Can you give me an example?
Yeah, degraded is actually the word I was looking for and
Yeah.
couldn't think of.
Degradation.
Degradation.
Yeah.
Like, are you thinking to do it in front of a lot of people?
It will be in front of a group of people.
Well,
but
okay, I guess tell me what
so the verbal it would be mostly it'd be all verbal degradation.
But what is it? Give me an example
It'd
because
be like
I can't. I really don't know.
Whispering in your ear. That doesn't really fit the scene that I was going for, but we'll keep going with it. So
do
it'd
you
be
want an
like
example?
I do want an example.
whispering in your ear that you're a dirty little whore.
I like that.
And that you have your place here is on this cross.
I like that. If you were gonna say like you smell bad,
No.
that kind of stuff, I don't like.
Insulting, that would be probably a soft limit for myself.
But some people do like that.
Yeah.
I personally don't care for that. So yeah, I do like to be told that I'm a dirty little whore and that I'm naughty, and I like all that kind of stuff.
Okay. And it would be basically your ears only as well.
Okay.
Like even though there's other people watching, they wouldn't hear that.
Yeah, I like that. That would be okay.
What about having your hair cut?
No, thanks.
So no permanent changes and markings. What about bruises?
Bruises are okay if they are in coverable areas.
Okay. And coverable, like short sleeve,
Short
shorts,
sleeve,
skirt kind of thing?
skirt, short skirt,
Okay. So like buttocks
and upper
above.
thighs.
Yeah. Ooh, upper thighs too, huh?
Yep. So anything like just above the knee
Yeah.
is fine,
Okay.
bruise wise.
What are your soft limits? Do you need examples?
Yeah.
So these are things that these are like activities that you would do only under certain circumstances or with certain people. They're off limits without further negotiations. So common examples would be like our marks. They won't be covered by work clothes. So because we kind of went there, sexual activities or any play that potentially involves bodily fluids. So like kissing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, kissing could be a hard limit too, though. I guess
Well,
soft limits for me would be like something that I'm not okay with it being accepted behavior. So like if we're scening, I don't want it to happen unless we've talked about it before the scene.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be like maybe sexual fondling over clothes, nudity, like stripping or removing clothing. I'm thinking of my own. So
Yeah. I don't know what soft limits weighing would be. Maybe no French kissing. Maybe no mouth to genitals. Maybe no peeing on me.
That's a soft limit for you?
yeah.
I mean,
apparently.
if it was negotiated and, he was going to beat me and then drag me into the bath. I mean, if it was a negotiated scene that, you know, you're just here to be used and I'm going to beat you and then drag you and urinate on you, I mean, that would have to be negotiated.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
I don't see him doing that, but we're just talking examples.
I would definitely put that into my soft category as well, because it would be something that, while any kind of bodily fluid exchange is going to be at least a soft limit, because it's just not going to be somebody who wants to play and be like, oh, okay, well, we're going to exchange bodily fluids. Like, no, I need to know you. I need to know your partners, kind of like your history. I need to know a lot more about you before we get into that.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of universal standard in a way, but maybe not. I mean, it just all depends.
I think it's worth mentioning because that's usually what I bring up in my negotiations.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like, you know, are any fluids going to be exchanged? And I also ask about, like, if they know about their, like, STI status.
Oh, that's good.
That's a great question, actually. That
It really is. I mean, especially with bodily fluids being exchanged, like,
right.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's important to get tested. I haven't been tested forever, but
You've kind of had the same sexual
same
partners.
partners for years. So,
Yeah, I haven't either, actually. I mean, I haven't been with anybody since. Oh wow.
Edit that out.
No, it'll be in there.
he's like, I'm not editing in the show at all.
2013.
Like as soon as we finish recording
14.
and upload.
That would be awesome, but I already know that I have to edit some things out because there was some names said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll probably put dolphin noises over them.
Sounds good.
What are you, SpongeBob?
You kind of got into this a little bit earlier, but what are your injuries and physical conditions?
Yeah, just my shoulders.
Shoulders?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm actually currently right now having a lot of trouble with my shoulders and my lower back.
So as far as flogging,
I really prefer like the lower buttocks to be hit anyways, so I don't think it would hinder.
you're not a back of the shoulder kind of person?
I honestly, can I be honest? I hate it.
I want you to be 100% honest.
I hate it.
That is good to know.
I ended a scene one time in a really bad way. In like, call it like topping from the bottom. It was ugly. I was mean. I was like fed up and frustrated. And it was horrendous to where I was getting emails the next day because I handled it so badly. Yeah, this was a good 15, 20, 18 years ago, we'll say.
But if you're...
Long time ago. I learned.
Was there a safe word involved?
I mean, I had the opportunity to do a safe word, but... It just was ugly. I think the moon was just in a bad position. Okay. If you believe in that kind of stuff, I may have been PMSing. I don't know, but I just wasn't feeling it. And I think I had mentioned, I don't like it when you do that. And
they did it anyway.
But I mean, maybe I just mentioned it in passing. It wasn't like we didn't negotiate because I was his submissive. So had already, done so many things that it was like, I'm just going to do my usual routine. Booty, booty, thigh, thigh, shoulder, shoulder, booty, booty, thigh, shoulder, shoulder, and it was just like, I hate it. It was horrible. It was so bad. It was, and I was embarrassed to come to the next party. I was embarrassed because of the emails and then in the chat rooms and people are like, oh, nice topping from below. It's embarrassing. It's horrible.
But it's...
I wouldn't call it topping from the bottom. I would say that was just... Maybe there was a miscommunication at some point. Because I think that's something you can negotiate all day. Or you could be in a relationship with someone for a long time. And sometimes mistakes are going to happen. Yeah. Or it's just going to be a bad day. Or something you really like any other day. It just really sucks that day. And you don't know until it's happening.
And I think in the moment, I didn't want the scene to stop. I just didn't want that. But I was so new. I was really new and I wanted to please, I just handled it
poorly,
the worst way possible.
But in the same time, you still stood up for yourself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's kind of that, but I know what you're saying and I understand that, but I'm just saying that it is much better to have that situation happen than have you internalize and just keep something in and just let something go on and to the point where it's fucking you up.
Yeah.
You know,
it didn't. It might. Yeah.
He may have had some resentment. I think that maybe what he might be trying to say is that even though now you would probably handle that situation differently, ultimately, thinking of who you were back then, I don't think it was a bad thing.
Yeah, you
that you
handled
did
it
what you
correctly.
did. I think that for you, yeah, rather than just sitting there and taking something that you did not want.
And also coming back.
Yeah,
is
and that you
amazing
came back.
because I can imagine the anxiety and nervousness and knowing that people have been talking about you all week. Like, oh, did you see what Lala did? Oh my God, I don't know, that poor guy. Like, that's just crazy. Like, she just kind of went crazy.
I mean, and especially when you're in dynamic with someone, people get like very holier than thou on what, you know.
And protective of their of the people that they've known
for a long
time and have a special bond with or feel like they do perhaps.
Yeah.
And they feel like because they have that bond, they can talk badly to their partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things I think, like, that Shock stressed in, like, the DM class was, if you're DMing and you see something that is off or wrong, you don't necessarily have to, like, jump up and run over there and, like, shut everything down and be like, okay, everybody stop, dungeon lights on, like, you know, like there's certain ways, and if you're gonna have a scene like a kind of a CNC or like a takedown scene or something, you should let your DM know.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. But I mean, like in that case, it would be an interesting. I kind of wanted to be there now, like just to see how things were handled internally.
We didn't have DMs then.
No.
No.
Oh wow.
Well, I mean, it was brand new.
Right.
Like.
That's fair. One thing that I did want to say about the telling your partner or your potential partner or potential scene partner about like injuries and physical conditions, you don't have to tell them everything. Like if there's stuff that you're uncomfortable with telling and it's not going to affect the scene or, you know, it's kind of up to you, your discretion, but you still want to be honest. Like these are people that you're kind of putting your safety and your health in their hands, and the more information they have, the better. So, I mean, you don't want to be like, oh, well, I don't want to tell them about this because it's embarrassing. Like, embarrassment shouldn't be a deterrent to telling somebody about something, an injury or a physical limitation or something that you have that they need to watch out for, especially when it comes to like rope or impact. Like, so many dangers that are already inherently in the scene itself that you don't want to add more that they don't know about, because they will protect you. That's what they're there for. Do you have any like psychological triggers?
Clowns.
Yeah. Okay.
Food.
Food is in.
Like if you come at me with food, you know,
okay.
You know, food on my body.
Right.
Yeah. That is a freak out trigger. Oh, and spiders.
Spiders. Okay.
Damn, there goes like.
If you even pretend like you have a spider in a box or in your hand, oh no, I can't. Like my hands are getting all. Ugh.
Yeah, I would never do that to you.
Yeah. So those would. I don't know if that is considered psychological.
I think that's worth bringing up because, you know, you're in the dungeon and let's say that you're seeing it and all of a sudden you see a spider and you take off. At least then you'll know why, right? Like,
plus, if
I start yelling, spider,
and you're having a hardcore freak out, then you'll know, like, oh, this is an emergency. This isn't just she'll get over it.
And depending on the scene too, like if it's a sensation play kind of thing, then
if it feels like one,
yes,
yeah.
you might.
That's
and
true.
so you want to, okay,
True.
no spider, so I'm not going to do something that kind of feels like a spider or, you know, anything that's going to trigger that emotional, like, reaction.
Yeah. But psychological is more like mental, right? Like thinking, like things.
Yes.
I don't think so. Honestly.
So one of the things that I can think of, which makes me like, I'm not sure how I would handle this at this point. So if somebody wanted to do a scene with me and they wanted to tie me up, to have my hands bound and restricted, like, I don't know how I would handle that.
Okay.
And so that's one of the things that, like, I just don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, like it depends on my comfort level as well as like the safety of the area we're in and just the people that I'm around. Not just so much my scene partner, but maybe the people surrounding us as well. All of that is gonna have an effect on if I am comfortable and relaxed enough, or if it's just gonna be panic inducing. So I think that would be one. Another one would be like groping, like a strong sense of non-consent vibes can trigger somebody that may have a history of abuse and stuff. Threatening, like to hit somebody, that could be a trigger. So like try to make somebody flinch or something. I don't know if that would really. I haven't ever seen that myself, but it's one that I was thinking of. Like,
it's worth bringing up because, I mean, there are some things that just seem so normal to us, but like maybe like, what if you went like you were gonna pretend to slap her and then she had trauma around that.
Yeah.
You know, something that maybe we might think is pretty normal, even if it's just like, you know, you weren't gonna like knock her out or anything like that, but sometimes even just the movement like you were going to.
Yeah.
So I think that's worth bringing up.
You can be triggered by voices too. Like not so much words, but like the way something is said can kind of like slip, like just bring up like a flash of something, and you're like, whoa, nope, done. Like I've had that happen, not in a scene, but like in a sexual encounter, where I'm just like, we're done. You just hit the no button, and it's off, or all things are off. But that's kind of strange.
If you did a scary voice in my ear, I would freak out.
Yeah?
Yeah. My roommate, when she turned the light out at night, she would do a scary, scary voice and then pretend like she was going to come get on me. And I would cry. Tears.
What are your sexual hard limits in this scene that we're about to do?
Oh, you and I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No penetration.
With anything?
Yeah, not this time.
Okay.
Not this time.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. I think light touches maybe could be fun.
Yeah.
Teasy.
I was thinking probably inadvertent touches.
Yeah.
So like a hand that's going up the inside of your thigh would just kind of lightly brush as it moved along without like staying on a part and just kind of grind it in like I'm making coffee beans.
Yeah.
Okay. What are your sexual soft limits? What about kissing? Can I kiss your neck?
Yeah.
Open mouth kissing?
No.
No? Okay, so just light kisses?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I assume biting's off the table too then, right?
Biting's good as long as it's not drawing blood.
Okay.
Biting's just kissing, except there's a winner.
Say that again. Biting is kissing, but what?
Biting is kissing, except there's a winner.
Well, then why do you lose so much over there?
I don't. Shut up. I got told that during a CNC scene because I learned very quickly. I bratted it at this guy one time, and he bit me so hard. I had a giant bruise going across my chest, right? And I was like, because I didn't know that he could. I had agreed to biting, but I didn't know that he could bite quite that hard, right? And he was like, it was just a little kiss, and I was like, no, it was not. And he was just like, sweetie, biting is just kissing, just there's a winner, and I won. And I was like, yes, sir, you did.
I like that.
Bratted one time. That was it.
Yeah.
That was over.
I like kind of giving away secrets of mine here, but I like to do like the slow drag of the teeth, like on the shoulder or something, or like across the breastplate, like, or the breastbone.
Yeah.
One of my partners is like crazy about that. Like literally anywhere, if you drag your teeth or just like barely bite down, they like that, and they like pain, and they like being bitten. They like that more than getting bit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that can be more fun. And then when you're like in between the thighs, if you actually bite the very top of the inside of the thigh, and they're not expecting it, like they're expecting just the gentle, and then you just kind of, I've like just off the bed, down on the floor, yelping, screaming, like, what the, and then do it again. You know, like.
I don't like a pinching bite.
No, it was it was like a wide.
Yeah, I don't
it was
like
just unexpected that like that was going to happen.
Okay.
That was fun. So I just had some other notes here that says you may have covered sex when writing your hard or soft limits, but when it comes to sex, things often get missed. And when sexual limits are missed, things tend to go really wrong. So when answering questions, you want to think about like the different types of sexual activities. PIV sex, which you had said no.
What is that?
Penis and vagina.
Oh, okay.
Sex, oral sex, anal sex, using toys, fingering. Some people may consider it sex, others may not. Same with oral. Like the sex thing, probably we should have spent a little more time on what is sex to you. You know, what do you constitute as sex and what isn't. And especially throwing that back at me would be what isn't sex to you. So like, what are you wanting to do to me? And I think that is something that if we were negotiating a scene, I would probably like really have a lot of questions, like the biting and the kissing, the touching, you know, is fingering okay? Is rubbing okay? Am I allowed to remove clothing? If so, how far? Me on a personal level, I don't want to strip anybody, especially if they're like on a cross, because of the teasing aspect. I want to be able to pull the clothes back up. So, you know, kind of deny kind of thing. So
Such a punk.
See, I was making notes. Those were two of the notes that I made on there, was just kind of like asking each other what you consider to be sexual or sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like,
good.
like for example, like I know people who like for me, kissing is not sexual, but
I
for other
agree.
people, it's very like a no. Or for some people, it's also too intimate. Like I've hooked up with people that were very like, hey, by the way, like let's not, because to them that's something that is intimate and like loving with another person.
I will go a step further. I know a girl smoking fucking hot who will not kiss ever anyone. She thinks it is absolutely disgusting.
I know someone like that
I'm like,
too.
you've sucked my dick.
There are some people where they're like, the idea of your mouth being in all of its fluids and your writhing tongue being anywhere near mine,
Yep.
you can't do. I know someone exactly like that too.
It-
to the
and-
point where they don't want to just even like push lips together because
No.
they're like, the idea of your teeth and your tongue being back there grosses me out. And they're also like, and your mouth is too cold. Another person's
Interesting.
mouth is colder than mine, and that is weird.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was a relationship deal breaker for me, because I'm like, I
So show intimacy.
I
for
need
you.
cussing. I need kissing.
Yeah.
And cussing. I mean, if we're
I
being
think
honest.
kissing is very passionate and it will get me incredibly turned on, which is why I said no.
Yeah,
Good.
responsible.
There's a million other ways to turn you on besides kissing.
There is. Yeah.
One of the other
Ooh.
things.
Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I just, in negotiation status, what about threatening to kiss? Like, how close can I get?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just gonna
Yeah. You're blushing.
It's hot in here.
You're blush. The air just turned on.
He's blushing and you're grinning, so whatever.
It was the answer that got that. Way to go.
One of the, because you guys were talking about like clothes, I was gonna say negotiating nudity would be like, what level are you gonna be at? Because some people are just kind of like like I know, probably not anymore, but I know that I would felt really weird about being naked in the dungeon for a long time. So I used to have to tell people, yeah, I will be wearing something, because you know clothes can affect where you can get to, where you can hit, and if they want you to go underneath it or whatever, right? But also, I was just thinking that there was a lot of like negotiating with Lala, but I think a lot of those same questions need to be put back at you,
Yes.
right? Like, because so things like the nudity, like maybe Lala's like, oh yeah, I'm fine being nude, and then you show up and he's completely naked, and you're like, wait, I didn't want that,
Oh.
right? So I think that some of those questions,
Interesting.
like same thing with touching, like it'd be like, oh, can I like touch your intimate parts? Can I like touch around your genitalia? And maybe you would say no, what if he didn't say, well, but can I touch myself?
Ooh.
Right. So those are things that I personally think of only just because I know what I want to do, and I'm like, maybe I should run past this past the other person.
You know what, too?
That is smart.
Because I can't have my hands up and they're at my waist, I can maneuver them back. So there's often times that I've reached back to grope whoever is playing with me. So how do you feel about that?
I don't know.
Something to think about. I mean, obviously I can't do much because I'm restrained,
Right.
but the idea of my hand grabbing at you and
like
brushing against you.
I like the idea of you trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You may not succeed.
but it would be fun to try.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that kind of like leads into like this was something that was asked to me, which was pretty cool. The first time I ever got tied up, they said, do you, because I had never been tied up. He asked me, do you think you're going to brat at me or do you think you'll obey? Because he had a history of tying people up where they naturally, their first instinct is to get out but they had to convey to him like, no, I want this to happen. The fight is part of it for me.
Right.
So I think that'd be an important thing to negotiate is, if the person's looking for a scene where where the bottom's going to take it, or maybe they're looking for a scene where they know the person's going to brat at them and mess with them and fight back a little bit, Yeah. So I think that'd be kind of an important, that's one that I personally asked to. Just because you see how many brats I end up with.
This one's answer to that question is always Brat, by the way.
No, it is not.
Yes.
Only with you.
Aww.
Ain't I special?
I would say I am pretty bratty and sassy until I'm in space.
Yeah.
Once I'm in La La Land, you're going to be like, are you still up there? Hello?
Right.
You good?
Checking in. One of the things that we absolutely didn't discuss is what is your safe word?
I have that on my list. Hell yeah. Proud of you.
It changes.
What do you want your safe word to be?
Marshmallow.
Okay. And what do you want your safe action to be if you're unable to speak?
I don't know.
No?
Like, do you want to drop safe? Do you want to kick? I've seen people where they kick their foot or they do like a certain, like, go like this or something.
I don't know what I do. I honestly don't.
It's your choice.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would know to do it.
Right. I don't plan on gagging you, so it should be fine.
Okay.
But that was definitely one of the things that it needs to
You
be
might
covered.
want to gag me because I will talk.
Yeah?
And yes,
I want you to talk.
I'll be a brat.
I want you to brat.
Skin is
I want
spicy.
the world to watch that brat melt away.
So you were talking. Sorry, I just reminded of this. You were talking earlier, and you're like, oh, I think it was using a certain kind of voice or something that like reminds you of someone else. I can't quite remember how it was worded, but I think that'd be a good time to like ask like is the scene just going to be the two of us, and who else can be there, right? So like you would assume that if it's during a party in
Right.
the play space, there's going to be other people, but I would say that sometimes people are just kind of like, yeah, we could totally do this, but if this particular person shows up, we may have to.
Oh, that's true.
That's a good point.
I've actually called scenes for that.
I didn't think of this because in my head,
I just thought of it.
Well, I'm just automatically assuming it's going to be here during a party. But what if it was like somebody you were negotiating a scene and they're like, okay, well, can you come over tomorrow?
Yeah.
Wait, hold up. You mean just me and you? Like just us? I'm not comfortable with that. I want somebody else there.
Right.
Just not because I don't trust you or because I don't trust myself, but I feel more comfortable if there's other people around.
Especially for a first,
first time.
for a first time, second time, maybe the fifth time, you might be more comfortable to be alone. But
Yeah, absolutely. Like once you've kind of established things, then you're more familiar with each other and it's a lot more comfortable. But yeah, for the first time, I definitely want, and if you told me that nobody's allowed to be there, then we can't do this.
Yeah.
Like that's,
I agree with that. And I pictured if we were going to, that it would be
Right.
here at a party too.
Yeah.
Yeah. with both of us blushing and giggling on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Are you really going to do this?
Yep. Nervous excitement.
Yeah.
I'd say the last two that I have on there is what kind of safety precautions do you have? Which, if you're doing it there, you can say there's a whole DM there.
Yep.
There you go, right? Or if it's rope, you can be like, I have a pair of safety shears. If you say I got to get out now, I'm willing to cut my own rope. Right?
Yeah.
So
That's actually really important.
yeah.
I have passed out.
You
Not
have?
here, but I
That would
have.
have been something to bring up earlier.
I have passed out. Like,
What kind of scene was it?
CNC.
Okay.
And
Was
then-
there, like, what kind of positions were you in? Like, were you...
Usually in, I don't remember because I was in La La Land. So like,
Well, what I'm wondering is, like, were you bound or were you being
Not
like,
at that time.
restrained
Not
in
at
any
that
way?
time.
So you
No.
just kind of just went woozy?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've also passed out like in the shower having sex. So if I don't have enough air and I'm not hyperventilating because there's a big difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not breathing. That's why you passed out.
You're not
But
getting as much oxygen.
Generally,
as you
when
need,
I pass
right?
out, it's because I'm hyperventilating.
Okay.
So,
But I wasn't hyperventilating. But the air was thick and I was overly excited and I just
Okay.
the room went, and I think that's kind of what happened during the CNC sign thing too. Is I was overstimulated and I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't have a good answer for that, but
Something to
it's
keep in
okay.
mind.
It's okay. It doesn't bother me to pass out.
But knowing that lets me know that although you should never leave a scene partner unattended or take your eyes off of them, be extra cautious of like where I stand, so that if any time you go limp, then I can catch you
yeah.
before and
It's far and few between. I'm just saying
yeah, but it can happen.
it could.
And that's
But I wouldn't want you to be so paranoid that you wouldn't be able to like turn around and grab a toy because you're afraid I'm going to pass out. It's not like that.
That's
You know
still
what
a
I'm
negotiation
saying?
that you're bringing that up.
Yeah.
You're like, you could say, I don't think it's that big of a worry.
It's not that big of a worry. I'm just
For
letting you
you.
know in case I do. And if I fall down, I fall down.
so one of the things that I like to do when I scene is I will never not touch you.
Okay.
There'll be something or some part of me touching you at all times. So even if it's just like a hand at the small of your back while I turn to get something, everything will be within reach and I will have contact with you.
Okay.
So I don't want to leave somebody wondering what's coming. Although you can, because you might not know. Actually, that's not true. That depends on the scene, because if I'm flogging you, then there's going to be moments where I'm not touching you.
Yeah. And I've had scenes where the dominant's like A or B.
Right.
And they're standing behind me with two things and I don't know what they have. A or B. And I have to pick.
Ooh.
So then I don't know what's going to come.
I would do left or right.
Yeah. Maybe it is left or right. I don't know. Whatever it is, I have
that's
to.
my own personal.
Right. Whatever it is, I have to pick.
That could be interesting.
Oh, here's another red. Wattenberger wheels. I hate them.
Warrenberg wheels? Or Wattenberg wheels?
I feel like that would be more in a sensation play, but
No, people
I
use
can
them all
see
the
that.
time.
I hate them.
I like them.
I hate them.
I've done it to be mean, like after like beating someone up a whole lot and then like their skin's all red, so it's really sensitive. You
Yeah.
run it up or whatever. That's a good thing to bring up that you're like, no.
Okay, so there's so many different ones, right?
right.
So there's like 1 and 2 wheels.
Mm-hmm.
If it's like 10
Right.
or 15, cool.
Okay.
Because it's covering a larger space and
Right. It's not poking.
it's not exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, just an experience, like when you said no violet wand at the start of this,
Yeah.
I kind of grouped that in with those wheels. Like,
Oh, really?
Why?
Because they have a lot of the same kind of sensation.
Oh, okay.
In a way, to
They
a lot of
kind
people.
of do. Shocking and like, ugh.
Well, I feel like that's like I make a point to be like, when I say I like stingy, but I'll say like, but no single tails, because my brain doesn't say stingy when I get that. My brain says cutty.
Yeah.
So a lot of
yeah.
people, you say like, oh, I like stinging, so they kind of go like, oh, then you're gonna like this like snapping of the single tail on you. But my brain goes like, oh no, that's past stingy, that's cutty.
Yeah.
Right.
So I get that.
I think another part of a negotiation should be like, this is my toy bag. What in here is a
Can we
no
use?
for you? Mm-hmm. You know, like what are you comfortable with, or what are you not comfortable with that I have here? And then equally, as a submissive, I have my own rope. I have my own toys. So it would be responsible of me to offer my bag to you.
Right.
And then tell you what my favorite things are.
Well, especially in a rope scene, like if you're like, I have rope and I have people that want to be tied up and I have people that want to be really tied up, and they're like, well, they'll show me a picture. Can we do this? Yeah. Are you going to buy some rope? Well, I thought you had rope. Yeah, but it's not for going in your ass and up, your crack and like, this is my rope. Like, that needs to be your rope.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly. That is exactly right. Because with rope, you can't wash it.
right.
I mean,
You can clean it,
but it's just, it loses its subtlety, and it loses its stuff.
loses its smell goods, all that.
And then you have to condition it again, and it's a pain in the butt.
And you don't want to, put a piece of rope in somebody's mouth later on that was in somebody else's ass.
Exactly.
Like,
that grosses me out.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, granted, you shouldn't put rope in anybody's mouth unless it's their rope for that same reason. You don't want to contaminate somebody else with something. Like, ropes is such a tricky thing.
It is.
I mean, can be. There's a lot of people that just don't give a shit, and they're just like, oh, it's fine.
Right, yeah. Because they don't know better.
Right.
Yeah.
Or they don't care.
Or they don't care.
And that's another red flag for negotiating. But yeah, and there's how do you feel about somebody else being brought into the scene?
I would want to know who it was prior to. I am okay with a lot of people in this group, but I would want to know who. Because you don't know everybody that I'm okay with.
No. I don't know people that you would not be okay with either.
And I might have different, like, I might be more okay with someone else being sexual, like inserting things, than I would be with you. So if you were, you know what I mean? So I may
Right.
have a whole different kind of, yes, they can do this. Right?
Right.
Or even a no, they definitely cannot.
Like
do
if
this,
it's
though.
a sexy, hot woman that I adore, I may want to make out with her,
That's true.
you know?
I asked that not because I had any plans for it, but because I've seen people in the dungeon ask for volunteers before, and I thought that was really strange. But
That is...
I feel like you should let the DM know that's going to happen.
I was the DM.
Yeah. That's
And they
that's
didn't
part of the
let
reason I
me
brought it
know.
up.
They were just like, yes.
I was just wondering if you negotiated a lot of the sexy stuff.
Mhm.
Have you negotiated aftercare, what that looks like for each other?
That's, yes. No. But that should be. What kind of aftercare do you require?
I require water, a blanket, a dinosaur, a cuddle,
Okay. All things that are easily
a
done?
snack with sugar in it. Did I say that?
Nope. You just said water and a dinosaur. A
Doesn't have
blanket.
to be a dinosaur. It could be a pillow. Just something to hold,
Okay.
but also to be held.
Held.
Or just like let me lean against you
Mhm.
until I'm like not in La La Land anymore.
Okay.
And I come out of it pretty fast, unless I fall asleep. Sometimes that happens. I'll be so cozy in aftercare that I'll fall asleep. Because it's, it's a shock to your body.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and all the endorphins are going crazy. And if you are really, like, tormenting me sexually, I may just be like, leave me alone, I gotta go masturbate. No, not really. I wouldn't do that.
Or call, like, go get one of my partners, like, let them take aftercare.
No, I'd want
No? All right.
to sit with you.
Okay.
And maybe, like, in quotes, pillow talk.
Right.
How did that go?
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you like? What did you not like? What do you want to try different next time?
Yeah, that
That
would
kind of
actually be
stuff.
very helpful on both sides.
Yeah.
How do you do, like, the day after? Do you have any, like, lasting effects? No?
Not usually.
Are you okay with me contacting you the next day?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can contact me anytime. Just tap on my window while you're out there, and I'll open it up and we can chat.
Just want to check in, make sure everything's okay.
Yeah.
Ask him what he needs for aftercare.
Oh, yeah. What do you need for aftercare? Because once, I get the sugar and the water and I'm like doing good, you probably need a snack and stuff too, right? Is that,
No,
what do you,
I'll get it.
what do you need for aftercare?
Just time to unwind.
Yeah.
And you don't need to be there for that, but you can be. It's
Okay.
completely up to you. That could happen during, like, on the couch as well. Mm-hmm. Like, while cuddling. I don't really have a set time frame that may take.
Are you comfortable cuddling?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, cuddling's good.
Are you comfortable with people coming and talking while we're cuddling?
Yeah,
Okay.
as long as you are.
Oh, yeah.
I would still be kind of in overseer protective mode. So it'd be kind of, what do you need? What do you not need? Like, I would just kind of take my cues from you
Yeah.
on that. But as far as aftercare for myself, it's just kind of a wind down. And then I'm back to the party.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I feel like that's an important question to ask your top, just because I've noticed that, like, I feel like my aftercare that I need when I top is, I guess, more intensive than, like, what I've seen other people do, where they can kind of just go and, like, cuddle with their bottom and be fine. Like, I need, like, once the bottom is able to, like, validation that they don't hate me for what I did.
Oh,
that's
really?
good to know.
I need that for my brain because I will top drop really hard.
Okay.
So, like, that's just something that I thought the is not.
Like validation, like, that was so fun. I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, especially 'cause,
it
like,
could
I-
just be that simple. Like,
Yeah,
I
'cause
loved
I've-
that, and yeah.
Yeah, because I especially, like, when it's scenes surrounding, like, degradation or anything like that, where, like, I'm actively, like, saying mean things, more so than, like, hitting or, like, doing impact or whatever, right? I know that I need to be told later, like, hey, just so you know, I really enjoyed that, and I enjoyed this part, and I appreciate you. Like, I know that I need that.
Yeah.
So, and then I also know other tops where they're like, hey, I need to, like, let you know that, like, I'll take care of you as far as, like, I'll get you on the couch, I'll get you your water, I'll get you this, I'll wrap you up in a blanket, but then I'm going to need 10 minutes to go smoke a cigarette, and then I'll be back to do whatever you need. So I feel like that's an important thing, that, like, smoking a cigarette's part of their aftercare.
Okay.
So they have to go do that, or they need to separate from you.
Uh-huh.
I also know tops and bottoms that after a scene, they very distinctly do not want to be touched.
Okay.
So, well, they're very just kind of like, and if that's a problem, then that's fine. Can we negotiate someone else to handle your aftercare, or do we need to not play?
Okay.
You brought up something that I had not even thought of, but can very easily see myself doing is, do I need anything? No, I'm good. That's fine. And then spending the rest of the night going, did I say the wrong thing? Did I take that too far? Like, fuck, now they're not even looking at me now. Like, oh my God.
Our
I really
anxiety
fucked up.
functions the same
Well,
way,
and,
man.
And that's why I was saying, like, after, I'm, like, back in my right mind, I like to chat about it. I like the pillow talk, that was
Yeah.
so fun. I really liked it when you did this.
That would be very, very helpful for me, actually. Mm-hmm. Especially new coming into this,
Yeah.
is that feedback, and especially things that weren't perfect. That were like, that was, a little creepy when you called me sister, but,
Ooh, that's one. Because I had someone ask me this, and I was like, damn, I got to use that every time for negotiations. What can we call each other?
Oh, yeah,
Right?
that's
Ooh.
good.
Because, like, I've always had this fear of, like, I don't know, like, me bottoming and then me, like, calling them daddy and them going, like, oh, like,
Yeah.
like, maybe not. So, like, I think that, like, sometimes having, like, set titles for that scene, or just whatever, or
That's so good.
by my name is fine.
that is cool.
You're so
actually.
smart. So glad you're here.
I just thought about that because
It's
someone
brilliant.
asked me that, and I was just like, I love that. I'm gonna include that every time because it's like, you know, you're having like a set role. You know, because like I've had people where like, you know, when I top, I like to be called princess generally.
Yeah.
You know, but I've had people where they're like, because that would break me out, because to me that's a name for a bottom leaning person. Can I call you ma'am? Can I call you mommy? Can I call you goddess? Like they're like, can I call you something that's not princess?
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, that's a good one. I like that.
That's a good one.
And you can live out your own fantasies on somebody that's not like, can I call you a name of somebody else?
Sure.
I mean, you might be able to if the person's down and they're into
I don't
it.
care what
Now,
you
with
call
that-
me.
Honestly, knowing Lala, like they're really into like names and role play.
Yeah, there's
so,
like yeah, she's so into role play that that's
It's
probably
true.
someone that you can.
I would
I
say
wouldn't
not
be like,
daddy
fuck
daughter,
you,
but
mom, and like hit her.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, no exes. You can't call me an ex's name. No, you can't call me your parents' name.
I will tell you, if you told me to call you like my lord or some crazy thing like that, right? Or God or whatever. I'm just throwing ideas
Some
out
people
there.
aren't. I've met
If
one.
you get me into La La Land, sir is all I know.
Okay,
So I may call you that other word, my conqueror,
right.
right? As soon as you get me in La La Land, my brain doesn't work that way.
Right.
You are sir. So if that bothers you, don't get me into La La Land.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I think it's good. Some people
That
have,
would be a good check-in too. Like,
Oh, yeah. I like that.
I mean, it probably wouldn't work for everyone, but that is how I work.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, no, it'd be thinking of doing like, what's my name, and to the point where you just can't answer anymore. But if it was like just a dark star, I'd be like, what's my name? Fucking Dick. You know, like she just, like
that sounds what I
quit fucking talking to me and hit me, you fucking piece of shit.
You guys are like an asshole.
We love you, Just a Dark Star, in case you're listening.
I miss her.
I miss her too.
I ran into her at the store the other day, and I was so happy. I almost cried.
Aww.
I don't think I don't get to see you anymore. Yeah, I just thought about another thing about that titles thing. I feel like, yeah, that is really. I'm just kind of confirming more that it is really important because I was just thinking about like Shark Boy and I. First year of our relationship, he was not comfortable with the title daddy at all. Like, just like it was the word itself. It wasn't like the role
Right.
Okay.
of a caregiver or anything like that. But he wasn't cool with that. Or sometimes those words, like those titles, are specific for someone else to be able to use.
That's true. Yeah.
Because I had someone recently ask if they could call me mommy when they're in a certain headspace, and I said no, because that word belongs to these people in this kind of situation with me. So no.
That's fair.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
sometimes if it's like if it feels like that title is belonging to someone else, it could be like that's a little disrespectful to this person, I feel like. So yes, dear.
Although I am looking forward to being a granddaddy someday.
It is funny. It is funny that you said that, because when I first started in this lifestyle, I was kind of pretty headstrong, and back then there were a lot of old school dominants who felt like you needed to kneel at the door and ask permission to come in and call everyone sir and serve drinks when they asked, even though you're not theirs technically,
Yeah.
right? Like, I really disrespected those people, and I'm sorry, I feel bad about that, but I did. I would only call my own dominant sir, and to the, grumpiness of the old timers. And I can't remember what you call them.
Boomers.
Old guard folks.
Old guard. Thank you. I'm old timers. No, old guard. Yeah, the old guard.
And I feel like, if that was like the rule of the house you're going into, then like, if they say like, hey, just so you know, when you come into this house, everyone who's dominant identified, you're going to call them this. That would be different, right?
Right.
But like if it's like not the rule of the space you're going into, fuck that.
Right.
Like,
And I feel like, Anemic, that would be such a fun role play for me, is to play that submissive person that has to ask for permission from everyone to do a thing.
I
I think that would be fun.
I like that idea strictly because having gone to like a high protocol service party before, that's kind of the way that they operated just for that night.
Yeah.
And that was fun just for that night.
Okay. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
We might have to talk about doing something like that.
Please.
Okay.
Would you be one of the service or would you be one of the people being served?
This time I would want to be served.
Okay.
I'll serve you, princess.
Stop. Oh no. Kink unlocked. Okay. Anyway, hey, Gigantor, you haven't contributed a whole lot. Do you want to contribute anything about negotiations or any things you thought of?
Honestly, like, you basically have said everything that I could ever think of. Like, and whatever I could think of, you thought of way more. So
I do that, I think, a lot. It's a problem sometimes.
no, it's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would like people to have the realization that when it comes to negotiations, they can be as long or as short as the two people are comfortable with. I have had negotiations that have lasted like every couple of days to go back and renegotiate the scene a little bit more. And then I've also had a pick-up play negotiation with someone who I knew well enough that I just let Gigantor negotiate it for me while I was there.
Yep, took like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was like a 30-minute negotiation for a pick-up play scene because there's so few things that we were going to do. It was like, I think it was one implement. 2 implements, technically. It was a
comb. No, it was a brush.
It was a paddle brush and a hand were the only 2 things that, this person was going to use.
There's a lot that can be done with a paddle brush and a hand.
Oh, yeah. But then that's why you say, like, you're only going to hit them on their butt and down the backs of their thighs. So those are only regions you're going to be hitting. Don't have any health concerns concerning those areas. So that's why that one only took 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. While, negotiating, like, my first CNC scene with someone took several days, and then, we would not talk about it for a while, and then we'd revisit negotiations again. Hey, you still cool with this? Just because there's so much time between the negotiation and the scene.
Right.
So
and also adding things that didn't think of at the time and stuff like that, too.
Or I even had an experience between the first negotiation and the time we had the scene. I had agreed to something, then I decided, I tried that again. I actually don't really like that. Can we take that out of our scene? Mm-hmm. And so we took that out.
Yeah.
So
I actually negotiated with someone in England over the phone, days, weeks, months, setting it up. I was going to top for my first time ever. I was going to top him. And then when he got, and I had everything ready. I talked to dames. I got equipment. I got a horse. I was ready. Like, I was nervous, but I was ready. And then he got here and he chickened out and wanted to top me instead.
Aww.
That's always a bummer when that happens. But, it is good that, if he was just like, oh, I can't do it, then he came out of it,
Yeah.
I also, I tell people, especially if they're newer to things, I tell them they're probably not going to get everything that they want, but they can have a few of their things. Mm-hmm. So I make them pick out of the few amount of things.
Yeah.
And if after that experience they say, oh, well, you could have gone harder or you could have done this more or whatever, I'll say, okay, we'll do this again. But if it's my first time seeing with that person, I'd rather go too light than too hard, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And
I don't want it to turn into a negative experience.
Well, and with me liking to tease a lot, we may negotiate 1,000 things that I'm never planning on doing.
Yeah. I'm
just so you don't know
what's
coming.
Right.
And leave you thinking and wondering, and maybe 2 days later you're like, I don't know. I'm like, all right, we'll take it off the list. It's fine.
Yeah.
In fact, it was never on the list. You just didn't know that.
Right.
That's how I negotiated a surprise scene with somebody, was that they knew that they were going to be scening with me. So I kind of over negotiated. Mm-hmm. So I did all of the things you potentially be cool with, and all of these things, and all of these things. So they didn't know what I'd be picking out of there. And also on top of that, I had their partner being a service submissive to me the whole time too, because they knew their partner better. and could see like their body's reactions and stuff like that, and knew like what toys were the best and stuff like that too. So that was fun as like a surprise scene for them. It was like you don't really know what you're gonna get this time, but you're gonna get something out of this giant list of possibilities that you've given me access to.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah,
I didn't do it. It wasn't me. It was a mosquito. You got bited by a mosquito.
I'm not happy about it.
Is there any more notes on your list of notes?
Nope.
We did it.
We did it.
Can we talk about word of the day for a giveaway?
Word of the day for a giveaway.
If you want to.
If I want to.
If you want to.
I want Lala to come up with it.
Ooh.
I mean, the obvious is negotiation, but that's too obvious. I feel like,
obvious.
right?
Yeah, let's do
Way too obvious, since that's going to be the name of the episode.
Ooh. I'm on the spot. I don't know.
Limit.
Limit. Do you like that or you want another one? Lala, you're making a stink face. You don't like that.
He can pick it. It's
He
fine.
can pick it.
Oh, but you don't like it.
Okay, Gigantor. What's it going to be? Is it going to be a limit?
No.
What's it gonna be?
Lala, you pick. Putting you on the spot again.
La, la.
Cuddle puddle.
Cuddle puddle.
Cuddle puddle. Is that a compound word? Or is it just two words?
I think it's hyphenated.
Yeah, I'd do hyphenated.
Okay.
We'll take it anyway, though, because we don't care.
We'll take it anyway. We can give it.
You can call Candy Sweetbox at 805-303.
1173.
Very nice. I thought you were going to moan in between each thing.
I was going to, actually.
You'd stop. I gave you a pause.
I know.
And we
I
made
got
eye
that.
contact, but you didn't do it.
I guess you were waiting for the moan, but here I was thinking, oh no, you forgot it.
In my head, I was panicking, like, phone number. What's the phone number? What's the phone number? It's not that. It's, what was it again? It's 805-303-1173, something like that.
Yeah.
So. Oh my.
Oh, my.
Oh my.
What are we giving away? Give it away now. And we probably need to come up with when, because we've been saying we're going to give something away for a really long
We've been
time.
on season 6 for so long now. I'm assuming that's the seasons there's kind of coincide with the giveaways. I don't know how that works.
I thought the gift for this season was Lala.
Oh, no, we can't give her away.
Yeah, I think we can.
No. She's not ours to give away.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Why do you want to give me away, Shark Boy? I thought we were friends.
It's because he's hoping to win.
Who are you going to brat at if it's not me?
Oh, easy. I got a list of people.
But I'm your favorite. No, he's making the ugly face. It's like, not so much.
I don't know. We're going to have to figure out.
Okay.
Yeah, when we're going to do the giveaway. We'll talk to Awesome and Greedy about it.
Yeah.
And we'll have a whole thing about it. And I think maybe by next episode we'll talk about it.
I'm pretty
Ryan,
sure
text group
Greedy
chat.
will agree with my idea.
I'm sure that he will.
Yeah.
What, to give me away?
Yeah, so we got 2 votes for Lala.
No. It's a flogger. I will take you out of suspense. It is handmade by Thief himself.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone got any closing thoughts?
I do.
Okay, what?
Take your meds, drink some water, and try to come before you go to bed.
What if you don't take meds?
Take somebody else's meds.
That sounds fun. I think I have some old Xanax if you want them.
Maybe we should do this on the podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, Lala, what's
Hey,
your final thought?
he said take someone else's pills.
Hey, Lala, what's your final thought?
Don't take other people's pills.
Good answer. Gigantor.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm thinking about Xanax.
That's what you've done now.
Xanadu. That's where you'll go if you take Xanax.
Zannies.
Oh, yeah, then I don't mind going there. Give me. Oh, my God. What?
Because you want to roller skate with
Polar bears.
that girl. Why can't I think of her name? The star of Xanadu?
What the hell are you guys talking
I
about?
have no idea what. Don't loop me in with Lala on that. Someone's on their Xanax, apparently.
Xanadu, it's a movie. It's a roller skating movie with John Travolta and...
Olivia Newton-John.
Thank you.
What?
Olivia Newton-John. You guys don't know Xanadu?
No, y'all
Did you know what I was
weird.
talking about,
Yes,
Anemic?
I know what you were referring to.
Thank you. Okay.
Admittedly, I have not seen it.
Oh, that's
But
fair.
I do know what it
It's
is.
really not that good.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Final thoughts.
Come back to me.
Shark
Come back to
Boy.
me.
Shark Boy.
I'm never good with final thoughts. Most of the time, my thoughts are empty.
Anemic. I feel like we just had an earthquake. What are your final thoughts?
If they aren't holding you accountable, are they really your friend?
If they're not holding you accountable?
Accountable.
Oh.
I thought I heard cannibal as well, but I
I'm
knew
sorry.
what they meant.
If they are not holding you accountable, are they really your friend?
Is that a final thought or a question of the week?
Yes.
So, goodbye. No,
Wait.
do you have any final thoughts, Shark Boy?
Yeah, don't steal other people's medicine and don't eat other people.
But what if they want to be eaten?
Yeah.
Then that is completely okay.
You guys, this has been a long podcast. We need to say goodbye.
Lala, do you have any final thoughts?
I thought they did.
I said, don't give other people pills or something like that.
You offered people pills, didn't you? No? Okay.
This is just a front, so that
don't
way they
think
don't
so.
come after them, but they can still make a profit on the. On
I
the
wasn't-
Side.
True.
Final thoughts. Nope.
Okay.
No thoughts, head empty.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay. I guess, well, with that, we are out.
Bye!